Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into something absolutely crucial. We are going to break down how advanced VPN technology creates a multi-layered defense to protect journalists, activists, and, well, everyday citizens who are living under oppressive governments. We're looking specifically at the architecture of ProtonVPN because we really want to understand exactly what makes a tool like this distinctly more secure than your average provider. How does it actually protect a person's privacy when their literal physical safety might depend entirely on their digital anonymity? Let's get into it.
So, ProtonVPN operates on this core philosophy. The cause of freedom has no borders, and we must stand together for it to succeed. And honestly, the stakes behind that statement are incredibly high right now. In many parts of the world, authoritarian regimes are actively trying to silence dissenting voices, right? And they do this by strictly controlling internet access. It's basically turned into a massive digital arms race. And the weapon of choice for a lot of these regimes is a surveillance method called deep packet inspection. It's highly sophisticated, and to keep the internet free, privacy tools have had to evolve aggressively just to stay one step ahead.
All right, let's look at how this defense is actually built. Layer 1, the disguise. This is all about bypassing blocks with stealth.
Okay, so the first very step to surviving internet censorship is just slipping past the local firewall completely unnoticed. To do that, we have to understand the censor's main weapon, deep packet inspection, or DPI. It's a method used by governments and network admins to literally look inside the data packets traveling across a network. Now, standard VPN protocols, things like OpenVPN or WireGuard running on UDP, they're incredibly fast for sure, but they have a really distinct digital footprint. They leave a signature. So when governments use DPI, they can easily recognize that signature, flag it as VPN traffic, and just instantly drop the connection. Boom, you're blocked from the outside world. So how do you solve that visibility problem? Well, Proton engineers took a totally different approach with something called the Stealth protocol. Stealth uses obfuscated TLS tunneling over TCP port 443. Now, why on earth does that matter? Because TCP port 443 is the exact same port used by standard, secure HTTPS web traffic. So by wrapping your VPN connection in this specific obfuscation, Stealth effectively camouflages your activity. It makes it look exactly like everyday web browsing, like you're just, checking your bank account or shopping online. To block it, a censor would essentially have to block the entire secure internet. It's hiding in plain sight. And you might be wondering, okay, do I need to be a cybersecurity expert to set this up? Nope, not at all. Proton includes a smart protocol feature to make this completely effortless. It acts totally automatically in the background, it's constantly probing the network you're on, and if a sensor tries to block your current port or protocol, it just dynamically switches to a different one. It'll cycle through options like IKv2, OpenVPN, WireGuard, and of course Stealth until it finds a way through. This basically guarantees continuous, uncensored access, and you don't have to manually tinker with complex settings while you're, in a high-stress environment.
Okay, so we made it past the firewall. Now we need layer 2, the safe route, defending your data with secure core.
So instead of routing your connection directly to an exit server in your target country like most VPNs, Secure Core forces a deliberate detour. Your data leaves your device and routes first through a hardened, privately owned Secure Core server. And crucially, these servers are located strictly in countries with some of the world's absolute strongest privacy laws, places like Switzerland, Iceland, or Sweden. Only after it passes through this secure checkpoint does your data finally travel to the exit node.
Why does this double hop matter so much? Well, imagine a worst-case scenario. Let's say a highly advanced network attacker, maybe even an intelligence agency, physically compromises that final exit server. With a normal VPN, your true IP address might actually be exposed. But with Secure Core, that compromised node only sees the IP address of the intermediate safehouse back in Switzerland or Iceland. Your true identity remains completely shielded. Add to that the fact that Proton owns these servers directly, keeps them in high-security data centers, and applies full-disk encryption to all exit servers. That means even with physical access, no one is getting those encryption keys. It's an absolute game-changer for people whose safety relies on total anonymity.
But, things happen. So what happens when the unexpected occurs? That brings us to layer 3, the emergency failsafe, the ultimate VPN kill switch.
Look, you can have the absolute best encryption in the world, but what if your local Wi-Fi drops for just a split second while you're accessing highly sensitive information? Without a digital seatbelt, which is exactly what a VPN kill switch is, a momentary network drop forces your device to scramble for a connection. It'll immediately revert back to the regular, unencrypted internet. And in that tiny split second, your true IP address, your DNS requests, your web traffic, all of it is instantly exposed to local surveillance or your ISP. A kill switch continuously monitors your VPN tunnel. The very millisecond that tunnel fails, the kill switch violently cuts off all internet access to your device. It ensures absolutely nothing leaks out.
Actually, not all kill switches are created equal. You can tailor the failsafe to your specific threat model. For example, an application-level switch gives you fine-grained control. It only pauses specific programs, like your secure browser, while letting something totally harmless, like a Spotify stream, keep playing. A system-level switch, well, that's the standard for strong security. It blocks all device traffic entirely during a drop. But for users in extreme danger, there's the persistent or always-on kill switch. This blocks literally all internet traffic by default, unless the VPN is actively running. It even survives device reboots. If you're a whistleblower needing mission-critical privacy, this guarantees absolutely zero IP leaks, no matter what happens to your hardware.
Here's a really important catch, though. It's vital to understand how these security features interact with each other. Using a feature like split tunneling, where you route harmless local apps outside the encrypted VPN tunnel just to save bandwidth, that usually forces you to turn off your kill switch on most operating systems. They just don't mix. So if you're managing high-stakes data, you've really got to weigh everyday convenience against absolute security. You generally can't have both active at the same time, with a few minor exceptions on Windows.
Right now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, adding obfuscation, double routing through secure core servers, and constant kill switch monitoring, that has got to make the internet unusably slow, right? Well, remarkably, adding all this heavy armor doesn't cripple your connection. Proton engineered a technology called VPN Accelerator. Basically, by fundamentally modifying how the Linux network stack processes packets on their servers, they can circumvent the normal processing paths for known traffic. The result? They've managed to increase VPN connection speeds by up to 400%. It significantly reduces latency, even when your data is wrapped up in all those multiple layers of cryptographic security.
As authoritarian governments continuously upgrade their surveillance tech and their deep packet inspection capabilities, our defenses have to be equally relentless. We've seen how stealth protocols provide the disguise, how secure core provides a safe route through privacy-friendly jurisdictions, and how advanced kill switches provide an uncompromising failsafe. So I want to leave you with this final thought to help evaluate your own threat model. In the face of a coordinated effort to silence you, is your current digital footprint truly protected? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and above all, stay secure.